Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something you might think you know pretty well, semaglutide,
Hmm.
but we're looking at it, well, differently. We want to explore what happens when that constant noise about hunger just goes quiet.
Right. And the deeper questions start popping out.
Exactly. And we're going to be looking through the lens of Dan Hollis's perspective.
Yeah, his work is fascinating on this.
It really is. And just to be clear, this isn't about, selling weight loss or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Hollis talks about decoding emotional amnesia. That's his term.
I like that framing. Emotional amnesia.
Because the world often just says, oh, fat is about food, it's calories, it's discipline.
The usual narrative.
Right. But Hollis and the sources we looked at, they suggest it's really about something else, something that doesn't quite fit that simple story.
It really shifts your thinking from the get-go, doesn't it? We think hunger. We think, okay, stomach rumbling.
Yeah, low blood sugar, maybe.
Sure, that's part of it. Definitely part of it. But hunger is just so much more layered, you know. It's biology, of course, but also our emotions, our habits. They're all tangled up in there.
And that's exactly where Hollis cuts through. He has this core idea. Emotional hunger sounds like a craving, but it's actually a question.
A question.
Yeah, like a need asking to be seen. It's not just wanting food. It's something deeper asking for attention.
That really reframes the whole experience of a craving, doesn't it?
Totally.
So when a drug like semaglutide comes in and sort of lowers the volume on those intense physical cravings.
It quiets the static.
Exactly. It creates this space, this quiet.
Yeah.
And that's when the emotional stuff, the real roots of what we're calling hunger, can actually surface.
Like loneliness or boredom.
Or anxiety, stress,
Yeah.
even sometimes weirdly intense joy can trigger it. You start to see how tangled up food is with everything.
So if it's a question, what sort of questions are we talking about here? What might people be, avoiding by reaching for food?
Well, it could be a lot of things. Often it's about seeking comfort or maybe control when things feel chaotic. Sometimes connection.
Okay.
Think about like wanting chips after a really tough day. We call it hunger.
Yeah, I need something salty.
Right. But Hollis would push back and ask, is it really the chips you need? Or is that craving a question about needing comfort, needing to decompress, needing a distraction? The craving's just the messenger.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, if hunger is this question, semaglutide is almost like the tool that helps you finally hear it clearly.
You could see it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clinically, we know drugs like Ozempic or Wegovy are GLP-1 receptor agonists.
Right.
They impact appetite, satiety. They slow down how quickly your stomach empties, make you feel fuller, work on the brain's hunger centers.
So they quiet the physical signals.
They do. But that physiological quieting, that reduction in food noise, as people call it,
Yeah, that constant chatter.
that's the gateway. That's what allows for this deeper dive.
But Hollis is really careful here, isn't he? He warns that it's absolutely not a fix.
No, definitely not. He calls it a window or a biological pause.
A pause. I like that.
It's this moment where you can finally, maybe for the first time, really ask yourself, okay, what am I actually hungry for beyond the food?
He uses that analogy too, right? The lumber one?
Oh yeah, the good lumber analogy. It's great. Semaglutide is like having really good lumber delivered to your building site.
Okay.
It doesn't build the house for you, but it gives you the quality materials you need to build something solid, something lasting, if you're ready to do the work.
Ah, okay. So it creates the possibility.
It's the moment where food stops talking, as he puts it. The chatter dies down, leaving this potential.
So this leads to his core statement, which really sums it up. Semaglutide isn't the solution to emotional eating. It's the silence that lets you find one.
Exactly. It gives you the quiet, the work of finding the solution. That's still on you.
Which sounds great, having silence. But what do you actually do with it?
Well, that's the surprising challenge, isn't it? You'd think, great, no more constant food thoughts, life is easier. But for many, this post-craving reality, as Hollis calls it, can actually bring up, well, grief, disorientation.
Grief, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think about it. For so many people, food was the structure.
It was the plan for the day.
It was the rhythm, the comfort, the escape hatch, the reliable friend, whatever you needed it to be.
That emotional scaffolding.
Precisely. And when that scaffolding gets yanked away suddenly,
Yeah.
you feel exposed, really vulnerable. And this is where Hollis makes a crucial point. Most people don't relapse back into physical hunger.
They relapse into, what was it?
Confusion. They relapse into confusion
Eh?
because nobody taught them what to do with the quiet,
Yeah.
how to handle the feelings that the food used to, numb or manage.
So they just go back to what they know.
Instinctively, yeah.
Yeah.
They reach for the familiar, the cheese puff, cheat days, chaos, as he puts it. It feels almost like they've lost their favorite lie.
Wow. Lost their favorite lie. What do you think that lie typically is?
Oh, it's different for everyone, but it's often something like, food is my only real comfort, or I need this treat to cope, or maybe I can't face this feeling without food.
It's a coping mechanism that's become automatic.
Exactly. And when the drug mutes that automatic response, the underlying thing, the discomfort, the emptiness, the anxiety, it's just there, raw. And without new tools, confusion is almost inevitable.
Okay, so semaglutide gives you this silence, this potential space. How do you actually build something new in it, according to Hollis?
Well, he has a framework. It starts with what he calls separating signal confusion.
Okay, what's that mean?
It means learning to observe your cravings, not just blindly obey them. To pause and ask, okay, what is this really about? Decoding the message, like we talked about.
Instead of just reacting instantly.
Right. And then building on that, he talks about constructing actual scaffolding in that space.
The scaffolding again, but what does that look like?
It's about framework, identity, ritual, language. These are his words. He means building concrete things, actual neurobiological replacement structures.
Wow, okay, like literally rewiring.
Essentially, yes. Creating new rituals, new rhythms, new routines that aren't centered on food, building a new lattice, a new support system in your brain and life that holds you up even when the chemistry shifts or life gets tough.
And a huge part of that scaffolding for him is community.
Right. Absolutely crucial. He says quite bluntly, most people don't fail because the medication doesn't work. They fail because they were alone.
That's powerful.
It really is. It underlines his point that support isn't optional. It's neurobiological scaffolding. It's not just nice. It's structurally necessary for lasting change.
So this whole framework, it's about rewriting your story.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Rewriting the story people were too full to finish. Finishing a story about yourself that isn't just about food and weight.
Which ties directly into redefining success, moving beyond just the scale.
Right. Hollis connects emotional hunger very strongly to what he calls identity disconnection.
Identity disconnection, meaning
Meaning, when you lose touch with who you really are, or maybe the life you're living doesn't feel authentic, food can step in to fill that gap, to manage the discomfort of that misalignment.
So it's not just about losing weight, it's about finding yourself again.
Finding alignment, that's the key word he uses. He has this incredibly powerful quote. You don't hold on to weight loss with discipline. You hold on to it with alignment.
Wow. Say that again.
You don't hold on to weight loss with discipline. You hold on to it with alignment. It's not about white-knuckling it. It's about becoming someone whose internal world matches their external reality, replacing the old story, not just the snack.
That makes so much sense, especially because change takes time internally.
Exactly. As Hollis points out, your body changes faster than your identity. Your physical self might transform relatively quickly on these meds.
But your mind, your sense of self needs to catch up.
Precisely. And that's why the scaffolding, the new identity, ritual support, is so vital. It bridges that gap.
So what's the real goal then? What's the win?
Hollis redefines it completely. He says, this journey isn't about eating less. It's about living more.
Living more.
Yeah. Feeling alive enough to stop measuring everything by food. Moving beyond weight as the primary measure of your worth or well-being.
That feels like the ultimate freedom, really.
It does. And it explains why weight regain is so common. Hollis has this incredibly sharp diagnosis for it. Weight loss is biology. Staying there is narrative.
Biology versus narrative. Okay.
Most people rebound, he argues, not because the drug stopped working or their biology failed them. They rebound because they changed their body, but they never changed their story. They didn't build anything in that silence.
So the silence became a void, and they fell back into old patterns.
Exactly. They didn't fill it with purpose, with structure, with that new aligned identity.
So for anyone listening, whether you're using semaglutide, thinking about it, or maybe just struggling with some of these themes yourself, the invitation here seems to be...
Focus on the window, not just the weight loss.
Yeah. Ask yourself those deeper questions. What am I really hungry for? What part of my life needs support, needs attention, now that food isn't playing that role anymore?
It's not some magic pill, right? We need to be clear on that.
No.
But it can be, as Hollis suggests, a miracle pause. A really valuable, quiet moment.
A moment to choose a new path, to build something different.
And that building process, that healing,
Mm-hmm.
it requires, as Hollis says, empathy, not judgment, awareness, not rules, and curiosity, not punishment. It's a journey towards yourself, not away from something you hate.
It's a profound shift in perspective.
It really is. And maybe the most resonant thing he leaves us with is this. When the cravings stop, the truth begins.
Wow, that's something to sit with.
And ultimately, maybe, just maybe, it was never about the food.